Thank you for your brevity. Now call on George Adam to be followed by Malcolm Chisholm.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I welcome this debate and I want to talk about the many benefits of cashback for community. The very idea of money coming from those involved in criminal behaviour and investing it in their communities is exciting and extremely popular with members of the public. As the Cabinet Secretary has already stated, we're taking money from criminal money and investing it in our children and young people's future. And as he already stated and others have stated, Cashback for Communities has invested £74 million recovered from proceeds of crime. And many of these things have happened throughout the country and in various other constituencies as well. I would like to talk about my own constituency, where in 2011, during the campaign, I met with Glenaffer Thistle Boys Club, and they had actually received a small grant to enable them to ensure that they had a football park of their own. The difficulties James Dornan has already mentioned about trying to access football facilities, but they managed to build their own facility. They used a basket of funding measures, and Cashback was one of them, and the First Minister was there when the facility was opened in its entirety. But they've produced footballers that have played at a senior level in the past. Legends like St Mirren's own Barry Lavetti, Stephen Thompson, and current Aberdeen manager and Paisley boy Derek McInnes, whose only unfortunate thing is he played for Morton at one point, but I'll leave that for my colleague to mention that as well. But they've also had players like Paul Gallagher, St Mirren, played for St Mirren, plays for Partick Thistle at the moment. But this continued investment in their football team in their area gives them an opportunity to not just invest in football, ensure that it gets young people involved in being healthy and having a healthy lifestyle as well. Yes, I will.
Just going back to my early contribution, and these initiatives are really good. But why is Renfrewshire not getting more than they are getting out of this? They currently get £274,000 per 10,000 young people. Angus gets 687 and Clackmannan gets 654. Why is that unfairness in the system? Why is Renfrewshire not getting any more, and why are you not demanding Renfrewshire get more?
Well, I'm actually talking about the positives and the differences that it's making within the community, the fact that they've got access to this funding, and that facility wasn't available to that football club in the past. So I think we'll stick to the positive nature of this and make sure that we can talk about it, because only last week the Cabinet Secretary announced the fact that one of 6 successful applicants was Castlehead High School in Paisley in Renfrewshire. And they managed to, this is funding they also got earlier on to create a SFA Football School of Excellence, an example of something in Renfrewshire and a great scheme as well. And the fact that we've managed to get many young people who have been involved in this and have been involved from referees to football and also healthy lifestyles as well. So these are all examples of this working. Hopefully these young men and women who are playing football in Castlehead High School can go on and follow in the footsteps of another well-known Paisley buddy, Archie Gemmell, and score a wonder goal in the World Cup, because these things are all going to help. But if I can suggest something for the future, Presiding Officer, and possibly, or you could call it a pitch for the Cabinet Secretary for something else as well. St Mirren Street Stuff is a campaign which I've mentioned on numerous occasions. It's been mentioned here by other members. They go out into the community, they work in the community. St Mirren is a football club. They've been able to access in areas that other local authorities and other third sector groups just can't access, because they have the credibility of being a football club. And the Cabinet Secretary is aware of a lot of the work that they have done in the community, Presiding Officer, because he has visited St Mirren recently. But they go out into street football, they get street football, gym bus, the box, which is dancing and DJing. I'm getting a bit old for some of that myself. I'll maybe try football in the odd time. But it's also about other programmes that they do. They've worked with lots of community groups, because St Mirren are based in Fergusley Park in Paisley, one of the areas of multiple deprivations. And I would say that they actually go out and they have helped young fathers who haven't been able to cook a meal, who haven't been able to do it. The kids go and play football, and then they come back, and Dad is in the corporate hospitality area and he's made the meal for them as well. So all these things, if we could maybe take that idea, you've seen the Dome, which St Mirren have actually financed themselves. The Cabinet Secretary visited there recently, and it shows how you can retrofit almost an indoor facility very cheaply as well. But I would say here's the pitch, Presiding Officer. Why don't we take that type of idea and talk about creating creating a football-based community hub where they have the credibility. I've mentioned before that the chairman of St Mirren Football Club, Stuart Gilmer, already said to the local authority, why don't you second some of your social workers to me, and I'll make a difference in the community with that, because it's about credibility and becoming part of the community and ensuring that you can use that community hub to make a difference in areas, because I'm sick of hearing that areas like Ferguson Park and Paisley are regarded as an area of multiple deprivation, and if we can use the local football club as an example. So the project would involve multiple sports. Kelburn Hockey Club, which incidentally is worked with Duncan McInnes, who's the brother of the Aberdeen manager as well, and he's involved in hockey. They're one of the best clubs in Scotland, and they've got to a stage where they want to be part of this, of a water-based hockey pitch there. Why can't we use sport and use it as a way to not just talk about taking kids off the street to ensure that they do well for Friday nights and antisocial behaviour, but push them into an idea of access to education, to access to jobs, to access to something else. Now, I'm not asking that Cashback for Communities pay for all of this, but if anybody wanted to do that, that would be fine by me. But it would be a basket of measures, and it is. I'm just closing at the moment, thanks. And I think it's something that we should look at to take it to the next level to ensure. So I welcome this debate and all the fantastic work that's done throughout Scotland in our communities with Cashback for Communities. But I just think there is some way we can actually take it to the next level, Presiding Officer.
Many thanks.